You're listening to Thunderquack Podcast Network. This is the Thunderquack Podcast, the official podcast of Thunderquack Podcast Network, where anything can happen. So strap yourselves in and hold on to your butts. It's Thunderquack time!
This really pissed me off because I started the episode and it shows me this.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want any spoil. Like I immediately jumped ahead. Yeah. So I was like, I don't want any spoilers for Flash. I haven't watched it yet this week.
And the fact that it was on the
and then it's at the end of the episode of Arrow. I was like,
no, you were
not everybody watches everything the same night. Like you can't have 6 shows and expect that everybody watches everything all the time. It's unreasonable, and it's a spoiler for Flash. Made me mad. I got really mad. Crystal can attest to it. I got pissed off. Okay.
I need to not read work emails. There's just this thing going around where it's like, I know exactly what triggered that email. And I just we just can't get anything approved. Everything is burning. I hate it. I'm so excited for Christmas.
Yeah, I told somebody today because we were working on something, and I was like, yeah, so this one part of it, like, I'm not going to even think about it. Like, we can talk about it in the new year because for the next 3 weeks, I'm not doing anything difficult. Like that's...
I don't know. There's so much. And I'm trying to get... Honestly, my brain is just like, how do I get everything I need to get where I have an overseas studio working over the Christmas break where they just need to continue to work, and we're completely out. I'm going to have maybe 5 people on my show like over the Christmas break, and it's just... I don't know.
Do you guys close the office at all, or
there's 3 days that we're completely shut down around Christmas? Like we get
from
Christmas
Boxing
Eve,
Day to
Christmas Eve to Boxing Day is like
that's
off.
That's it.
Those 3. So Christmas Eve, Christmas, Boxing Day.
Yeah, those are stat holidays though. So
no,
not all
one.
of it's stat, I guess.
Yeah. So and then we get the
no
next
Boxing
week.
Day is a stat holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Christmas Day and Boxing Day are both stats.
But we get Christmas Eve off as well, and then we also get the 31st off and the 1st. So we get 5 days. So for people to take the full 2 weeks off, they just have to take 5 days of holiday.
Yeah.
So I'm taking 3 days of holiday, and I'll be back on January 2nd. And just keep those 2 days. It'll be like a nice ramp in rather than me like being flooded with stuff on the 6th of January.
We're closing the office because we like merged with these other companies, and the office in Calgary, I guess, has always closed for Christmas.
Oh, nice! Like over the whole break. Sorry, I'm trying to push this down a little bit.
Yeah, not over the whole break, but
most of it.
But yeah, for like part of it at least. So because they close, now we get to close, which is nice.
That's good.
But I'm just gonna
like even out the weight. Yeah. Oh, hey, move this closer. What a good idea.
Neither one of us is gonna get up and walk away, right?
I hope so.
What just happened? I just knocked my sock off.
Uh-oh.
My microphone.
I'm like weirdly comfortable this week, and I'm like, do I always sit like this, or is this something new about me?
I think you're sitting further back than normal.
I think I usually sit up close, but I'm like, this is like a nice little nook. I enjoy it. Plus, I'm wearing sweatpants. I usually don't wear full-on sweatpants. I usually wear tights.
I am also wearing sweatpants.
Right? It's a sweatpant kind of day.
I'm like self-conscious about it, but
these are Star Wars sweatpants. I got them in Disneyland.
They say Star Wars on them?
They do, in black on this side.
Oh.
But they're men's pants. Ugh, they have pockets. It's the best. They have a back pocket and side pockets.
I have one pair of pants that they are men's pants, but they're jeans. They're brown, and for some reason, the pockets in them are super shallow.
Oh.
Like most men's pockets go like about halfway down the thigh, right? Yeah. And these ones, they go like a third of the way down the thigh. So my phone, because I have the 11 Pro Max, right? So I've got the big one. And it barely fits in my pocket, and it drives me nuts because if I Like when I sit, they like it like pops out of the top of it, and like I understand.
Yes.
Trying to relate to
Good,
you.
good, okay, good.
You're being petty.
I am, because you're complaining about your one pair of pants with the wrong pocket. These are the only pair of pants I wear that have pockets.
Buy men's
like
jeans.
skinny fit. I've heard that is a good like life hack. And I use my back pockets a lot. Like that is how I get.
You don't
by.
wear jeans very often though.
I actually surprisingly wear jeans like at least twice a week. It's just that I always change when I come here. So you do not see me in jeans.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I'm going to sit around. But I like, my aesthetic is jeans and a blazer. Like that's like, I really like that. I wore jeans and a blazer today. Currently I am wearing sweatpants. But this top goes really well like under a blazer. So you can just imagine that I was wearing a blazer today. My top half didn't change. I just took the blazer off.
You know, I'm not going to imagine that. And maybe that seems petty, but like I'm just not going to waste the brain power
fine. You don't have to.
on imagining a blazer on top of that.
No, it's all good.
It's not going to happen.
It's just, I just would like to state for the record that I do wear jeans. Because I used to not. It was like a whole thing. And you know what the problem was? I just didn't buy jeans that fit. And that, I think, is ultimately... It would be nice to find a nice men's brand of, like, skinny fit jeans that have good pockets in them.
Old Navy men's jeans, especially the skinny jeans, have, like, basically the same stretch in them that women's jeans do. So that's why I like to buy Old Navy.
Yeah.
And the other thing, like, you go for Old Navy, Gap, and Banana Republic. They're all the same company, right?
Right.
And it's supposed to be steps up in quality. But I honestly find, like, if you buy something for $20 at Old Navy, it'll last you, like, 5 years. If you buy something for $94 at Banana Republic, same thing, same type of shirt or whatever, it will last you about 6 months before it starts to look like garbage.
Interesting.
And, like, I don't know, like, it's almost like they know that people who are going to shop at Banana Republic on a regular basis are fine with just burning that money. Right.
Well, I quite like Banana Republic and have an issue with Old Navy.
Oh, really?
Like,
I love the clothes at Banana Republic.
You know what? Maybe it's the fit. It's the fit that's different to me because I don't overwear it. Like there's certain items that I'll wear constantly, but otherwise I don't wear something enough to wear it out ever. Like
I just find that like every
out.
sweater I've ever bought from there, it stretches out after wearing it twice, and then you can't put it through the wash because if you put anything into the washing machine and dryer, it'll just come out ruined.
Right.
So you have to wash everything by hand, but if you wash things by hand, it doesn't go back to its shape. Right.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I'm looking at something at Banana Republic, I'm always like, I really like the way this looks right now, but I know that I'm going to get like 6 months out of it before I hate this thing.
And I really do only shop at Banana Republic. Sometimes they have really good sales where they've got 40% off their discounted items and basically
never pay
like
full
I have
price.
a bunch of
Never pay full price in any of those 3 stores that I just mentioned. If you're paying full price in those stores, you're dumb. You're just dumb. No. I don't want to judge you, but you're dumb.
I'm devastated that like I have figured out Secret Santa, so I've got like Secret Santa at work that I've got to buy for, but it means that I have to brave the mall. Like I think I actually want to go to the mall to get a gift.
What do you need to get?
Well, I don't know, something for somebody generic, so I might get something generic. Like they literally were like, I'm not picky, you can get me sort of whatever, and I'm like, ugh. So I feel like I need to go to the mall, but also you're now mentioning like things that I'm like I should go like shopping at like.
So don't go to Metrotown. That's your mistake. Is that you always just go to Metrotown?
Yeah.
What the mall that is closer to you that's actually going to be a lot
Center.
more chill. No, is Oak Ridge.
Oh,
if you
I
go
always
to Oak
forget
Ridge,
about Oak Ridge Mall.
Getting into Oak Ridge right now is a pain because of all
people
the
have been sitting
constructions.
there was once where people were sitting for like an hour or something because of construction inside the parking lot at Oak Ridge because they couldn't get out because all.
But here's the tip, okay? Because there's a train right there.
Oh,
so drive to Broadway and Canby,
right,
and then take the train.
That's actually a really good
then
idea.
You don't have to park there.
But then that's the whole purpose of going to Metrotown is that I can park there.
If you go into Metrotown, all you're going to do is upset yourself. It is the worst I've ever seen it.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane.
Like right now, you mean?
We were there on Black Friday.
Oh, ugh.
And it was the Pandora, because that's I ended up going. It's hilarious. The Pandora had a lineup at 4 p.m. Okay, that the person halfway through it, because they kind of had it like broken into two, one on one side and one on the other side of the walkway, and the person at the front of the second half of the line, I was like, how long you been waiting in line? They're like, oh, like maybe 20-30 minutes.
Wow.
I was like, so you're gonna wait an hour to get into Pandora? I was like, not happening. I'm not gonna do that. And like, 35% off is a good deal.
Yeah.
But I'm not waiting an hour to get 35% off. Like, I'll pay the extra.
My time is worth that. Yeah.
And that's so I said that to Crystal, and we were walking around. It's like when you're married with kids, and you like, Crystal and I have been together for 15 years. There's no more surprise in Christmas. It's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think last week I said the
You've got
Jurassic
that. Like,
Park,
I love that both of your gifts are just sitting there unopened.
They're just right there, and we just have to wait until Christmas before we can enjoy them. But like, she knows that I got her something from Pandora, but that's what she asked for. Hopefully it's the right one. She told Kara which one she wanted.
Aww.
And so Kara and I went in. The rest of the story is that we went through the mall, we did some other stuff, and then on our way back to the car, on the floor underneath Pandora, there's another like an independent jeweler, but they sell Pandora stuff, and they had a sign that was like 35% off Pandora. They had the same deal.
Oh no!
And they had all the Pandora stuff, like all of the charms.
Nice.
They didn't have the extra stuff, because if you go into an actual Pandora store, they've got like different kinds of like necklaces and rings and stuff like that the like independent stores that carry it don't have. But I don't care about any of that stuff. It was like, Crystal wanted a Frozen pendant or a Frozen charm for her bracelet. So Kara and I went in, and Kara picked out the one. She said, that's the one that Mommy wants. I was like, okay. I hope you're right.
Yeah.
It just happens to be the most expensive one, but whatever. So I got it 35% off anyways, but there was no lineup.
Nice.
So when we left, like, I looked up, like, I kind of looked up
to see if there was still a line,
and there was still a lineup.
Wow. Yeah.
And this was like, we were at the mall for like 2 hours. So it was like probably like 6:00 at night. There was still a lineup. People were still waiting to get into Pandora. And I felt like going up there and going like, if all you care about is charms, go downstairs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I probably should have, because the people who were working downstairs. But anyways.
I did the only Black Friday thing I did, and it's because I went to Chapters, because they have really good deal. I love Chapters at the best of times. I have a plumber. I just like love it in there. And I wound up like because I now have Kara and Cassie to get stuff for, and the kids section is the greatest. There's so much stuff, and it was all on sale. It was great. I
don't even look in the adult section of Chapters anymore, because if I want something, I'll get it on audiobook, and B, like, if it's not an audiobook, like if it's a Star Wars thing, then I'll get it off of Amazon. But but I go in the kids section all the time. Look at,
and they have toys and like, and I bought, my parents don't listen to this podcast, so I can tell them. But in Disneyland, I wanted to get them something, and they really like puzzles. So I was like, I'll get them a Disney puzzle. But the Disney puzzles are like, they're like $25, $22 American, which is like expensive. And so the Lion King puzzle, the big 1,000-piece one, was $25, 25% off. So I got it for like $16 with my additional discount that I get. So
at Chapters,
yeah. Sorry, that was the
just
piece
tell
of
them
missing
that
information.
Just tell them this. From
I know,
Disneyland.
Right? They don't need to know. So I'm very excited. But it was a thing where I like legitimately was like, okay, I am buying them that. I'm just not getting it here. So it was like a thing in my head that I was like, I'm going to buy them a Disney puzzle, but I know that I can get it for cheaper if I go back to Canada, because if nothing else, it'll be the same cost, but in Canadian. I bought a dinner that like was like an expensive dinner for like a lot of people. It was like a party thing, but it was like a decent, like American. It was like a couple $100. And when I checked the exchange, it was like an extra $100 in the exchange. By the time it actually came off my credit card, it was an extra $200 Canadian. It was insane. Like, the exchange rate just fluctuates like a mofo all the time. Yeah. And like, I have never once benefited from it. Always. Every time I get a refund for something I bought in American money, it's always less than what I paid for it.
Yeah.
I've never gotten it the other way around, where I'm like, oh, this is a nice little bonus, where the Canadian dollar must be really good today. Nope, never.
Nope.
Anyways.
I don't understand it, because their economy is not by all accounts, like, it's not doing well. Unemployment is terrible. Like, they're just in deeper and deeper debt to China, and yet somehow our dollar is worth less than theirs. I don't understand it.
Yep.
But I also don't know anything about
the
economics,
patriarchy.
So,
it's got to be involved somehow.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not,
the Illuminati.
that one. Probably that one more so than. Yeah. Anyway, sorry I ranted about
It's okay.
various things all night.
Trump's like on the way out though, hey.
I haven't been paying attention.
The words that they're using about the evidence in these impeachment hearings is things like overwhelming, damning, like
really?
Unsurmountable. It's like, yeah, like there's really no way that he's not going to get impeached. It's just due process at this point.
Interesting.
Like it's just they just have to go through it.
What was I watching? I think I was watching a different news site, like a news site that I wouldn't normally watch. That was like the other side of the story, and I was like, "Huh, interesting." Maybe it was just John Oliver, and he was trying to give like a broad scope of. Ooh, someone said something the other day. Someone said something. The internet showed me something the other day, like a meme that I was like, interesting. There was an article about how Elon Musk's or whatever their satellites are like cluttering up the night sky, and and so the post was, we all need to remember that Elon Musk is not Iron Man. He's not Tony Stark. He is Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor, yeah.
And it just like was a thing where I was like,
I personally think that is unfair towards Elon Musk. Lex Luthor is a madman and a supervillain.
But
on the flip side of that, Tony Stark is a very unrealistic, altruistic billionaire.
Yeah.
So he is neither of those things. He is a regular human being who is obsessed with innovation and wants to make a lot of money, which is not uncommon. He's just one of the most successful.
Yeah.
But so if that's a problem, that's a problem, and it should be addressed. Right. And the real issue there, it has nothing to do with Elon Musk. It's the fact that there are no regulations. So he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So he's going to do whatever he wants because he has a goal.
Yeah.
And he wants to meet that goal.
Yeah.
That goal has nothing to do with whether or not astronomers can see stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It has to do with his whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just it as much as like I appreciate people for like bringing that to light, it's like making it into villainizing him isn't a great way to start a dialogue about this.
So I don't want to start I actually have like a counter, like my way of thinking about this, and I do just want to say Elon Musk was he did guest star as Elon Tusk on the latest episode of Rick and Morty. I don't know if people are watching Rick and Morty.
He's
again,
friends with Dan Harmon.
It was
I'm behind. I'm not caught up on all the episodes, but
it's Rick and Morty. I watch it when I remember. Oh, but The Good Place is so good. The last episode, I didn't record it, and I'm so mad because I turned off, whenever I go on vacation, I turn off my cable because anyways, and then I forgot that means that I don't record anything. I've watched it twice, like, using the stupid demand thing. It was, like, the best episode.
Wait, you turn off, like, you call them up and say, shut off my cable?
No, I just unplug my cable.
Oh.
Because I keep it in the cable box that's, like, the primary cable box is the one in my bedroom, and it's a little bit contained, and it freaks me out that it's, like, in such a contained, like, area. I don't know. I unplug most...
Because it gets hot?
Yes, I unplug most things in my house when I leave.
Okay.
Anyways...
All right.
The thing about Elon Musk and the Lex Luthor thing was that one of my favorite things about Superman as a hero is that his villain is just a dude with money. And it's the idea of like, and I mean, I get that that's very much like diminishing all that Lex Luthor is.
That's super reductive.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for, reductive.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, I think that Lex Luthor is one of the best like people that we can look to in comic books.
There's that whole thing going around of like who published it. Maybe it was either Deadline or Variety. I can't remember. No, I think it was actually Forbes. Maybe it was Forbes. Somebody posted a thing about like how Warner Brothers doesn't know how to make a Superman movie that's relevant to today's audience.
And somebody commented on it. Yeah.
And like 1 million people have like retweeted it or posted about it, where it's like, first off, that's exactly the kind of movie that we need today. Like we need movies that, like Superman is this, and that we don't need to, for this audience, go into all of it. Yeah. That's exactly the type of story that needs to be told today. And I think Neil Gaiman was like, he kind of put it the best. I'm just gonna paraphrase him, but he was basically like, Superman is meant to be an inspiration. Like it's not, you're not supposed to relate to him. You're supposed to aspire to be Superman. So like, like that, it's super sad. But at the same time, like I got that Man of Steel poster right there, and there's a I spent a lot of money on that poster. I think that poster was like $80. It's the Mondo one, right? So we were talking about American exchange rate. I think Mondo posters are like $60 or something like that American. So when I bought that, I think it was like $85 Canadian, which is a lot of money for a poster. Yeah. And it's totally worth it. It's a beautiful poster. The quality of the print is unbelievable. But like I bought that poster because that movie is meaningful to me, because as much as it is the Dark Knight-ification of Superman, it's still at the end of the day a very inspirational movie. And then it sucks that the follow-ups with that character are both Batman movies about how the world sucks. Yeah. Right? And it's like, that is not what that movie left us with.
No, it's not what Superman is either. Like
the last 5 minutes of that movie, of Man of Steel, are the best part of the movie, because everything is getting him to that point where he becomes an inspiration, and then he goes like, this is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be close to the news. So that I know where I can help and make a difference with journalism, all that stuff. Like it's all kind of subtext, but it's all there. It's all this great stuff about Superman. And then like the movie ends, and then the next time we pick up with him, everybody's like, we hate Superman because he wrecked the city. And it's like, that's not what that story should have been about. That was Zack Snyder reacting to the commentary about the movie that he made. Right? About like, everybody's like, oh, if he's Superman, how come he let Zod destroy the city and all those people and blah. So the first 5 minutes of Batman v Superman is, look at how bad a superhero Superman is. I was like,
plus he would have helped clean up Metropolis like within the first 3 weeks. Yeah, like he does that. Yeah. I don't know. It's just the thing too is that the comment that I saw that was the reaction to the like people don't know how to make a Superman is the one that they were like, somebody sarcastically saying about the like, oh yeah, like a billionaire that doesn't like, with no consequences and like taking over the world, like nobody can relate to that. Like the idea of like a billionaire with like presidential aspirations and like all this, like the idea that like, I don't know, Lex Luthor is just so relevant to today's society when you do him like the right way. And it's just an interesting cautionary tale. I've always really liked the concept of Lex Luthor and the idea of, is he evil because he can never be Superman? And so a man can only go so far. And when you have unlimited money and you have power, do you become a villain when you try to reach beyond, like when you reach for the stars? And this is my parallel to Elon Musk, where it's like, if you're reaching for something that like can you get it? Like, how much do you manipulate the earth or the world or the current structure of things to be able to try to aspire to do something that nobody else can do? And it's just a cautionary. It's just cautionary.
I believe that history will look back at Elon Musk as foundational to the way that humanity survives.
Oh yeah, and I would say I actually quite enjoy Elon. I think Elon Musk is doing, because I am one of the people that thinks that technology is going to be the only way that we save ourselves from ourselves. Yeah. Like honestly, like just there's no other way. We either save ourselves or destroy ourselves. I'm happy to keep moving in the save ourselves direction. So
yeah. Is this a Thunderquack episode that we just recorded? How long have we been talking for?
I don't know. A while. Can we make it a Thunderquack?
Half an hour? Yeah, it was Thunderquack. A little
mini Thunderquack.
People really want us to talk about Frozen. Next week we're going to do a full spoiler review of Frozen. But you just saw it yesterday. Let's just really quickly talk about it.
Okay, sure.
Did you like it?
Yes. I mean,
it's super good.
It's so fun. Yeah. And here's the thing. I have started working in animation only in the last 3 years, which is well after. And so I just have a different appreciation for animation. And that is a beautiful movie. And I will say it was really nice to go with women that were all my age. And the best part of the movie is that we went to a 7:30 showing. So there were a couple kids, but mostly adults in the audience. But when the sculpture, like, not to like, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's the sculpture of the dad.
Yeah.
And the person anyways, and you find out about the sculpture, and there's a little girl in the audience that went, "I knew it," and everybody started laughing, and it was so adorable because like that's the best part when you like have the like people in the audience reacting. So that's I think what made it a little bit, and also because the song that Christoph's song was the best because I was with that specific audience where we all just loved it so much. Yeah. So and they're like some good bangers for songs. Like that was going to be the big like make it or break it for the Elsa songs.
I love the soundtrack. Right? Oh,
the
so music
good.
Is so good.
Yeah. Because I was worried. I'm like, how do you top Let It Go? And the second song where I could tell that I'm like, oh, they're making this the next Let It Go. And I was like, but the content for this song doesn't seem like it's going to be like empowering. And I was like, oh no, you need to understand the context of the song. Like once it's finished, you're like, oh, I get what this song is about.
But also the song you're talking about is Into the Unknown. And
no, it's the second one. But the Into the Unknown is the good one.
What's the second song?
Find Yourself or something, or Find You, or Come See You, or
Show Yourself.
Show Yourself. Yeah.
Show Yourself is important to the story, but Into the Unknown is like big, the Let It Go.
That's a good one. Yeah.
From the movie,
it's so good.
And it absolutely is because whether you like
I'm
adults
already
think
singing it in my head right now.
Like whether an adult thinks it is or not is irrelevant to me. Kara already knows all of the words to Into the Unknown. Really? And she's 3 years old. Like she knows almost all of the words to almost all of those songs already, and it's been a couple weeks. Wow. Right? Wow, that's awesome. But yeah, Into the Unknown, she knows like
it's good. I'm like I say, I'm singing it in my head right now because it's so catchy. So it was just really fun, and it's kept the core. It told a new story while keeping the core of what we liked about the characters from the first one, making them interesting.
It actually, my problem with the first Frozen is that none of those characters are three-dimensional. Not a single character in the movie is three-dimensional. They are all like
caricatures a little bit. Yeah.
Everything that you would consider character development it's not really character. Like Elsa doesn't really change from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. She just like partway through the movie when she sings Let It Go, she's basically saying like I'm not going to hide my powers anymore, which is development. But at the end of the movie, she doesn't really learn anything.
Yeah, she's the same person.
She just goes like, "Oh wait, fear is bad, love is good," and it's like,
"Yep,
okay, I guess that's a bit of a revelation, but also it's really not."
Yeah.
And the most interesting thing in the first movie, to me, has always been the relationship with her father, which they don't explore in the first movie, but that the second movie justifies. Right. So now the first movie, and this is what a good sequel should do, the original is better because of the sequel. Yeah. So the sequel actually like goes in and explains why he's such a terrible father, because he is a terrible, terrible father. Like he tells her, like he literally says the words to her, "Conceal, don't feel," and puts the glove, like when he's putting the gloves on her hands. And it's like, that's a terrible message for anybody to give a child, is like, what you're feeling right now is dangerous. Right, yeah. Don't let anybody know about it. And the analogy in Frozen, and I think one of the reasons why it connected with a lot of people, is like the on the nose analogy is like queer identity, right? Whether it's gay or transgender or whatever, right? Whatever you want to put that on. And the idea of like basically like him saying to her like, look, whatever it is you think you're feeling, just push it down. Don't tell anybody about it, because they won't understand. They're just going to be afraid of you, and it's just going to cause problems, right? Which they're nobles, right? They're royalty. Yeah. So like that analogy kind of plays itself out really well, I think. But in Frozen 2, you find out, and it's very early in the movie, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything, but you find out where that prejudice comes from.
Yeah, right? And you learn about the parents, you learn about the past, and the best part too is that like the characters like Anna and Elsa, by the way, like you get to see like the opening, like little Anna and little Elsa come back too, because those were great characters, and so it's really
the mother
nice.
actually speaks. I looked it up to be like, is it because it's Evan Rachel Wood in Frozen 2? I'm like, she wasn't a big deal at the time of Frozen. I wonder if she was actually the voice back then. And I looked it up. No, it's not no voice. There is a voice for the mother, but it's like the king and queen don't have names in the first Frozen. They are just king and queen, and I think maybe she says like part of a sentence, like when they go to the trolls or something like that. She doesn't have like a complete moment in the first movie, which I think is really interesting. But she gets a really great moment at the beginning of the movie.
I think we're wrapping up, so I feel like I have a it's not a spoiler because it's not anything important. Yeah. But it's an observation that I'm going to very blatantly ask you a question about from the movie. So if people want to listen to it, they can. But it's not. It's just.
If you don't, we're done.
If you don't, we're done. But like, it's about when the mom is sitting on the bed with the girls. Mm-hmm. I've just been looking at the beauty of the animation, and she has this beautiful scarf that she throws over Anna's head, and the simulation is so beautiful that I'm like, oh wow, look at that simulation. But I'm wondering, as somebody who's not in animation, did you look and pay attention to that part of the movie? Because weirdly, that becomes important later on, and I'm wondering if they did it intentionally. Like I was supposed to be drawn to it, and I, as an audience member, just tricked myself into thinking it's because I am like paying attention to the simulation, or was it actually story based enough that like? No,
it is significant because then it because she puts it on, and then in like not later, that much later,
they're like, hey, this scarf. Like,
she brings it back with Elsa to be able to help her calm down or whatever, right? Yeah. And then obviously it's important even further into the story. So yeah, no, I mean I think
people pay attention to it.
I didn't think about the fact that the simulation was
right. I mean,
right.
But it's just so realistic. It's so
level,
cool. But like everything about just their hair is so beautiful. Anyways, there's a lot of just beautiful like things.
Elsa's hair at the end of the movie is so good. Yeah. It's so it looks so much better. I don't like the braids, but her hair in the first movie is like super anime to me, like the way that it's like kind of all like.
Well, I will say hair is expensive AF. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
So that I would say is probably one of the things that her clothes are so great too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The costume designs in Frozen 2 are so much better.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's it. We're done. Thanks for listening to the Thunderquack. We'll be back next week with like a full. We're gonna do like a full spoiler review.
We'll talk about Frozen.
We'll talk about some other stuff, some Star Wars stuff as well, because it'll be the week before Star Wars.
I'm so excited.
Let's talk about Arrow.
Cool. This is recording properly, right?
Yeah.
Because like it just
It's it's recording properly.
Because usually you can see the whole thing and like the bar moves and it stays all in one, but now it's doing a thing where it's like going like this and then
because
skipping.
it's zoomed. It's not. Maybe. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's fine.
Podcast quick because
I don't even think. Okay, I don't even think that there are any emails this week
because nobody cares.
I'm not like.
Who is going in to this crisis episode, honestly, with the only show that they are knowing about is freaking Arrow? Am I the only person on the planet that's going to be watching Crisis?
You're the only one.
Oh, man.
I've been working this week I got caught up on Flash, although I have to watch this week's episode, but it'll be on Netflix.
Which Harrison
tomorrow.
Is it? This is not on the episode, so it's not.
Which Harrison Wells?
Yeah.
His name is Nash Wells, and he's an Indiana Jones Harrison Wells. So he goes from he's hopping around the multiverse, and stealing stuff. He's like a Nathan Drake Indiana Jones type character. Cool. So in fact, the end of this episode, it bums me out because he's my favorite Wells. From what I've seen, like from what he's been on the Flash, like I really, really like him because I love Tom Cavanaugh.
Yeah.
I've loved Tom Cavanaugh since the first time I saw him in a TV show. It's like he's great. And he does all these different Wells, and last year's Wells was the worst. Sherlock was the worst. And he bounces back this year with Nash, who's like he's because he's always doing something different. And this time he's playing like a dashing hero.
Oh, that's cool.
But he's still Wells, so you don't trust him at all.
Right. Yeah.
And you shouldn't trust him because he's
Rightly
only out for himself. He really doesn't care about anybody else. But I just really like the character. Anyways. Okay, let's get into the actual episode. I can't believe there's no email this week.
I don't know.
I'm disappointed in the whole world. That's okay. It means we can get through quick.